Can I talk about regulation? You need to understand we're a very regulated environment. My view is you just need to accept that. Don't challenge it, accept it. I also have the fundamental view, this could be controversial, that regulation is there to protect the customer. It is there for good.
Yes.
So it's about leveraging that goodness as well.
Today, I'm speaking with Craig Lauchlan, Chief Information Officer and Executive General Manager at Suncorp New Zealand. Previously, Craig has held senior leadership positions at Bank of New Zealand, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, NAB and AGL, bringing extensive experience in technology and financial services. Welcome, Craig.
Thanks, Leandro. Looking forward to our chat.
Indeed. Now, you've led transformation across Australia, New Zealand. You've talked globally as well. What are the key lessons for leaders managing transformation at scale?
I think where I would start is it's all about clarity. So transformations often run the risk, though they tend to be long, enduring programs of work. And so you really need the flag on the hill. You need to have that clarity. And when I'm talking about clarity, I'm talking about a purpose that really resonates with the people. You've got to have a very clear set of goals that you're going after. And I think you also need to have a really clear target state. That's really important. So that paints the picture in terms of the target on the hill. So that's where you're going to lead the team, the group, to create that transformation and create that level of success. I do think transformations, I'll use the analogy of mountain climbing. So when you are climbing a mountain, you see the flag on the hill, as I talked about, in terms of that aspiration that you want to achieve. There are many ways of getting there. So there's not a cookie cutter model, in my experience, in terms of how you're going to get to that flag on the hill. And it is about choosing the right pathways at the right point in time with the right equipment, making the right decisions, because often when you're climbing a mountain, you've got to deal with risk. So you've got to have that agility as well. You've got to be prepared to be able to pivot and to move from time to time. A transformation inherently is always going to be a long journey. And so things go bump in the night, things happen outside your area of direct control or influence. And so you need to have that awareness of your ecosystem that you operate in, and you need to be able to navigate your way through that, which means you need to have an element of agility or flexibility in how you go forward with your transformation.
Talking about that though, you've led digital transformation, right? Which are two interesting words, because digital is more about, things that are potentially coming from the past quickly that need to be implemented, and then transformation, which can take a long time, like you mentioned. And you're doing that right now, including automation. So can you bring that back now to Suncorp? What is the primary driver for your digital transformation?
The transformation we're driving at Suncorp starts right from your purpose. And we're a very customer-centric, customer-driven organisation. So if we start with that really clear purpose in mind about how we're going to protect customers, how we're going to provide a great experience for customers, that's really what motivates us and drives us. You think about yourself, you think about your daily life and your personal life and how you go about, and a lot of our life now is driven by these great digital experiences. So those people, ultimately a lot of those people are our customers, and those customers are going to want to also experience a great digital experience with us. People these days are very time poor. People want convenience, they want ease, and they want great service, and there are plenty of benchmarks out there which are providing fantastic service. So for us, it's that clarity in terms of focus on the customer, and it's that competitive need to ensure that we are providing that great experience for customers. Ultimately, that leads into how do we retain customers, how do we grow our customer base. Therefore, that obviously has benefits in terms of the financials, obviously from an attrition perspective, from a growth perspective. So there's a lot of benefits in being very customer focused, both from the customer experience perspective, but also from an organisational and a shareholder perspective. And so we're always balancing that and thinking about that. But really providing that premium digital experience is what we're going after. And the interesting thing right now, from my perspective, is that we now have access to technology which can really transform both our organisation and our customer experience in a much faster way than what we've done previously. And
Especially
I think
in financial services.
how do you reimagine the customer experience and the processes? So I think, you know, we've for many years we've talked about human-centred design. Ultimately, we often end up in almost what I would describe as a Six Sigma process-driven model that actually fits our systems and our organisation quite well, but doesn't necessarily actually meet the needs of the customer.
They don't see any of that.
They don't see it, and they don't care about any of that.
They're time poor. They want ease.
They're time poor. And we're also, you know, we've taken a production-like approach to process engineering over many, many years. You go back to the Toyota model, right, in terms of how you do production and engineering and so forth. And I think we're in a very different world now where from a customer experience perspective, it's how does that experience work for that one person as opposed to the masses. And I think with the technology, we're at a bit of a tipping point where the technology now can actually allow that customer to have that great experience in the way that meets their needs as opposed to the organisation's needs. And I think that's a challenge for all of us. I don't know how that's going to play out, but I'm really keen that we've, as I said before, we remain very focused on that customer experience and we start there. And then let's make the technology work for the customer. I think that's the exciting opportunity we all have.
It's refreshing to hear the focus on great customer experience from financial services, because for the longest time, many banks thought that they didn't need to innovate at the same pace.
I think now, I look at where we're at now, we've spent a lot of time in artificial intelligence, we've spent a lot of time in machine learning, we've looked a lot at generative and predictive AI capability. The excitement that I see now, and I think we're at a very pivotal moment with the agentic capability, particularly when you start talking about agent orchestration and it's agent to agent. I think that is an amazing opportunity right across our organisations to change the way, as I said earlier, the way we think about process, the way we think about design and the way we think about experience. Ultimately, it's going to have great outcomes for customers, it's going to have great outcomes for organisations as well. I think the challenge for us going forward, I'm very focused on what does that mean for our people? Because it's fairly daunting for a lot of people as well. But yes. I think we're at a really pivotal point in time in terms of change. You know, as I said, I look back to the late 90s when the internet really became ubiquitous. I look at the App Store in the mid-2000s, that became ubiquitous. I'm now looking at agentic capability. I think that will become ubiquitous faster than anything else we've seen previously. So I think it's we're going to see some exponential change. It's going to be quite exciting.
Let's talk about agentic technology. We've been talking about the agentic enterprise. Yep. I know we've been helping you here at Salesforce with the technology to accelerate that at Suncorp. Yep. Can you share some of the ideas, the use cases you're thinking that would apply maybe first and where you'll take it?
We are definitely looking at this agentic AI capability really seriously. Perhaps if I take a step back on our journey of digitisation and automation, and Salesforce is becoming a really important partner for us. In New Zealand, our technology strategy and our pathway is a very platform-driven approach. So I need to simplify the organisation and provide great experiences. I am also part of a broader group, the Suncorp Group, and so from my perspective, from the group's perspective, I really want to leverage the goodness of group where I can. And if you think about a platform strategy, and I think about the layers of a cake here, I'm getting great value leveraging the group in terms of our infrastructure. We are putting in new policy administration systems or new product platforms into our organisation. That'll be at the group level. We're putting in new pricing and underwriting capability. Again, we're using common group tools for that. When I move into the top of the stack and I think about the customer experience or the engagement level, that's where we need to differentiate in the New Zealand market. Our business model in New Zealand is a B2B to C model. So we work with the intermediaries. So we work with the broker market, we work with corporate partners who distribute our products and services. And so to me, that's where the agentic capability can play a significant role. We're starting off internally with some experiments at the moment. So we're experimenting in the quality assurance space, and we're using the agentic capability to validate the work that our agents are doing. So it's still the human agent that is working with the customer or with the broker in terms of managing cases, inquiries, working the customer through their life cycle requirements from an insurance perspective. What the agentic capability is helping that human with is customer identification, policy verification, policy summarisation, knowledge management. And it's about bringing those capabilities onto that single pane of glass for the human agent so that they can have a seamless...
They're augmenting them.
Yeah, they are augmenting. And we can see the results that we've seen so far have been extraordinarily promising. I think the area of caution from a financial services perspective, and it's not only financial services, it's also in the energy markets, it's in the airlines, it's in the health sector. We are heavily regulated environments, and the regulator is watching very carefully in terms of what we do, and we're very conscious from a conduct perspective and of ensuring that we're doing the right thing for the customer. So we will tread carefully into that customer space. We have a lot of humans in our organisation who are deeply experienced in the insurance industry, bring a lot of expertise to it. And so it really is about that agentic capability augmenting that expertise, and together they'll learn and provide a greater experience for customers. So that's how we're thinking about it. So it's about taking a core part of our organisation and then expanding it out into that agentic framework. And that's the pathway that we're designing at the moment. We really value and cherish the people in our organisation, and we do have people with great tenure.
Yeah, I know a few of them. It's amazing the tenure you have there.
Yeah, it's incredible. Their depth of knowledge and expertise just blows my mind when I talk to a lot of these people. We've got some characters that have been there 25, 30 plus years, and they've been using systems which you can only describe as ancient, to be honest. Think back to the 90s and you think about your little small green screen, your ASCII screen, and sort of navigating around. We didn't even have a mouse back then, Leandro. We were on the keys. We're on the keys. But it's really only been in the last 6 to 9 months we've seen a significant turnaround in the experience for our staff. That staff member that's been there 30 years was about to retire. It's like, I've had enough of this. They're now thinking, I've got a bit more time.
They got a spring in their step.
This is amazing. We've moved from, we had backlog in our queues, which were all over our organisation. We had something like 24,000 items sitting in our queue to be dealt with on any given day. We're down to about 600 a day now, and that's quite manageable, obviously. So our turnaround time from a customer experience has gone from a 4-week experience for a fairly simple interaction to a couple of days. Now, the future, that's going to be a lot less than a couple of days. But where we've gone so far, and particularly in the last 6 months, is we've really transformed that experience for our employee. That single pane of glass, that great experience that they can have with their customer is really quite transformational. So our strategy is to really just build out that ecosystem, and as I said earlier, with the technology now, we can build that very fast. We can bring that to market really fast. The challenge for us is bringing the people on that journey.
Yes.
I think the great thing there though is that the applications, these services are very intuitive. So from a change management perspective, it's less about the training aspect of how do I use this system. It's more the behavioural and the mindset in terms of what's the opportunities that now provides me in terms of how I can engage with my customer and create great experiences. So.
Outstanding results, and I love your focus first on the employee. We think about that at Salesforce. We call ourselves customer zero. We start internally first.
Yep.
Is that where you like to think of starting and then rolling it out more to customers given the regulated industry that you're in?
Absolutely, absolutely. So it goes back to my previous point. If we start internally, if we create great experience for our employees, they're going to enjoy their work more. they're going to provide a great experience to corporate partners and to brokers and to customers. And so that ultimately is a great outcome for everyone. So it is about starting with our employees and building out that capability. I think it's a great place to learn. As we've talked about, we're in a regulated environment. All eyes are on us, and we need to be doing the right thing. Can I talk about regulation for a minute, Leandro? My view is you just need to accept that. Don't challenge it, accept it. I also have the fundamental view, this could be controversial, that regulation is there to protect the customer. And it is there for good. If you think about it in a pragmatic way, work with the regulator, work with our audit teams, work with our risk teams. They've got to be in the tent. They need to be a part of the solution. And if you work with them, you can create that safe environment to operate and play in. And so I don't have any issue with it whatsoever. My mindset is this is actually going to help us create a win-win outcome. We're going to win from a customer perspective, we'll win from an organisational perspective, and we'll be doing the right thing for the regulators as well. So
it's a fresh approach. I love it. And I'm sensing a lot of the win-win in yourself, right? Working with the business, working with the regulators.
Yeah.
Talking about the employees, and we talked a lot about this new wave of agentic technology that's coming. How are you thinking about bringing those employees along? Obviously, giving them CRM and bringing them up to speed there has been incredible.
Yep.
How do you bring them along on the next wave as well?
Now we're coming down the mountain.
Oh, okay.
Right? We're coming down the mountain, right?
Okay.
Think of a snowball.
Okay.
Right? As it comes down the mountain, it gathers pace and it gathers size. And so if we focus, and right now we've focused very much on our consumer business. And we've got business leaders in there which are fantastic. They're really driving this new capability in the CRM space. And we are talking widely. So from a transformation perspective, from an engagement perspective, communication is just so critical. And so we communicate a lot to our group about what we're doing and about the benefits of what we're doing. And that's generating that goodwill and it's generating that excitement. And we've got, you focus on the willing, you focus on the people that are open-minded, they're going to give it a crack, they're going to have a go. And they're generating success. That becomes infectious. It's like the snowball's growing. And so that's how we create momentum into the organisation. And it's about bringing people along on that journey. Across the Suncorp group, we've got this amazing academy-like learning infrastructure, and we're certifying people in the AI capability. In the last couple of months, we put 2,500 people went through our AI program.
Wow.
So we are using every opportunity we can to help people learn, develop, and grow these skills and capability. And then the combination of the tools, the opportunity, and most importantly, the open mindset creates an environment where we're able to innovate more, we're able to bring more to our solutions. And it's generating real excitement. It's palpable. The energy in the organisation is quite palpable at the moment in terms of the opportunity that we can see in front of us. So we're pretty excited.
What's your lessons that you'd love to pass on? You've got a lot of listeners here, other C-suite. Anything you want to impart with them of how you're changing your leadership style or how you're thinking about leadership going forward?
My style, hopefully, is more of a servant leadership style. So I've got experts in all manners of technology and they are the experts. I'm not going to be the deep expert in that, and it's about allowing them to flourish in the environment as well.
It's fascinating. I see you as the conductor of that organisation there, and Craig, I just want to say that I've really enjoyed the conversation today. The partnership has been excellent and I look forward to seeing great things from Suncorp. So thanks again for making the time today.
Thanks, Leandro. Great to talk with you.